Hey folks, this is Mark Maron and you're listening to Tom Clark's Main Event. All right, do it.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to the program. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and you are listening to Tom Clark's Main Event. This is episode 3 of the program, and for those of you that have listened to the first 2 episodes, subscribed, downloaded, and all that good stuff, I will once again extend a customary laurel and hearty handshake. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. It's been a blast so far here on the program. I'm looking forward to many more to come here. Again, thank you for your support. And as always, don't forget to vote Tom in 2016. Every vote counts, people. We got a lot to cover here on this episode, so let's get right down to it. Episode 3 of the program. The main event this time around is the death of Kayfabe in WWE. This is a big topic, folks. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. This is something that has most WWE fans / pro wrestling fans up in arms over the past several years. It's been going on for a long time, to be honest with you. It's something that we as fans deal with every day, to be quite honest. It's something that rears its ugly head every week on WWE programming. What exactly are we talking about here, folks? Well, here we go. Kayfabe, as we all know, is the fictional reality that a pro wrestling promotion creates in order to draw you in order to make you a fan in the first place, in order to get you to watch, to tune in each and every week to the programs, to go see the events live, to buy the merch, to quite simply suspend your disbelief for the duration of the time that you're viewing their program or seeing their events live. Now, how much does that really go along with Vince McMahon's company at this point? Excellent question. Glad you asked it. More importantly than that, what's got me ranting about this particular topic? Well, I've got 2 reasons. One's named Nikki and one's named Brie. You got it, folks. It's the Bella twins. Twin magic is dead, folks. It's over and done with. The fat lady has sung. It's all over. Why is it all over? Because Nikki's turned on Brie. Evidently, back in the day, Brie stole a bunch of boyfriends and did a lot of heinous stuff that no one knew about, and Nikki's only now telling everyone about it, and she's decided to get revenge on her sister. I've belittled this entire storyline within a matter of moments. It's terrible, right? Before I go any farther, let me say this is not a reflection of these two personally. Anyone that knows me as a writer and as a fan knows that I do want the women to succeed in WWE. I look at the Divas division as I would look at any other division in that company. It's all about making money. It's all about being successful. Anyone that gets in the ring, puts their lives on the line, each and every time they step into the squared circle, deserves an opportunity to succeed, deserves an opportunity to shine. When you get the opportunity, you have to make the best of it. You are only going to be as good as the situations you're placed in and the booking that goes behind you and your characters. As we all know, the booking for the Divas division is utterly atrocious. It's not getting any better. Total Divas is a program the company is pushing, of course, pushing down your throat most weeks. And that's a very interesting mix of kayfabe and reality, and we're going to get into that a little bit later on. But for as far as the Bellas are concerned, a major storyline's been happening over the past several weeks, and it culminated at SummerSlam. And we saw something on the August 25th edition of Monday Night Raw that threw us for a loop, because that was the night that in the ring, Jerry Lawler decided to bring Nikki and Brie together to try to get these two to hash things out, get their problems solved, with the whole world watching, apparently. And that's the moment that Nikki tells Brie, "I wish you had died in the womb." It's big stuff, huge stuff. I immediately said hats off to both of them for going through with this. Some pretty intense stuff being said, a lot of very emotional things. We all know this is business. This is all about, again, it's all about making money. It's all about suspending disbelief. It's all about fiction. We get that. It's all storyline. Makes perfect sense to me. But we're talking about twin sisters, folks. You think they don't feel any of this? But again, hats off to them for going through with it and for making it very realistic. Nikki came across as the villain, the super heel that night. And I have to say that for the first time, I was impressed with the Bellas. Take that for what it's worth. Hate on it all you want to. It's just reality, folks. I've never really had very many positive things to say about either one of them since they came to the company to begin with. The reasons for that are very simple. I just never felt like they offered anything. Remember the days before they were actually in the ring? They were just used as eye candy and to be on the arm of the guest host of Raw. I always found that a little insulting sometimes to my intelligence. And honestly, if you want to go south with that thought, you could say that, you know, what are these girls being used for exactly? What's the insinuation by the company? Oh, welcome to guest hosting Raw. Here's two beautiful women, one for each arm. Have fun. I mean, what are we saying? You know what I mean? Again, maybe that's a little crude, what have you. That's fine. But again, where are we going with that? So I didn't really have a lot of very positive things to say about them. But my opinion has changed because, again, the intensity, the drama, the moments that went into that spot they had on the August 25th edition of Raw, that's big time stuff. I was very impressed with it. I was. However, you knew there was a however coming, right? However, in the 6 days following that episode of Monday Night Raw, they lost me entirely. Entirely. Posted a column recently on the Camel Clutch blog. Feel free to check it out, of course, on this very topic about how the Bella Twins had me and they lost me. Let me tell you why. For the next 6 days after that edition of Raw, both Brie and Nikki apparently were on Twitter tweeting all week long as if nothing had ever happened. Think about that. Think about it. Nikki was tweeting photos of herself and a bikini and whatnot, and you know that kind of stuff's fine, I guess, because it sort of shows her like her blasé attitude. Hey, I did this to my sister. I don't really care. It's all about me now. Look how pretty I am. Oh, just worship me. That's good. It plays into her heel character. It plays into the new attitude that she's showing each and every week on TV. That part I get. That part makes perfect sense. I get that. However, Brie, who should be a basket case right now, folks, let's not forget, who should be falling apart at the seams, who should be inconsolable, who should just be just overwhelmed with grief, with sadness, with emotion. If there's any tweets coming from her at all during those 6 days, it should be, please respect my family's privacy at this time. You know, I'm trying to sort this out. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. I know things will get better. But no, she's tweeting photos of herself, Daniel Bryan. She's even sending out thank yous to UFC fighters who, by the way, were aligning themselves against her at SummerSlam at ringside for Stephanie McMahon in their match. Now, it's Twitter. Okay? We all know that a lot of stuff is said on Twitter. Twitter is just like any other social media apparatus. Or app, I guess, that's out there. It's just for entertainment. Okay? Random thoughts, pictures, news of the day, gossip, rumors, whatever, what have you, for fun, right? I just got a problem with it. Okay? Whatever happened to realism? Whatever happened to sticking to an angle? Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to continuing kayfabe beyond the program? Think about back in the day, all right? Back in the territory days, and back in the 1980s, the 70s, when pro wrestling was, for lack of a better word, real. The men involved made it that way, okay? They stuck to it. They lived the storyline. If a guy got his arm broken in the ring, he wore a cast every single time he left the house. Why? Because you're keeping up appearances. That's what we're talking about here, folks. We're talking about leaving the angle, leaving the storyline. Okay? Making it real, making fans buy in. What happened to kayfabe in this storyline? What happened to it? Does anyone even care about it? The Bellas obviously don't. Either they don't, or they were never told, look, girls, you might want to lay low for the next 6 days. Okay, let's make this thing look good. Evidently, no one cared to tell them. I'm a little surprised by it, I gotta be honest with you. Go back and look at their Twitter account from the period between August 25th and September 1st, and you will be pretty surprised by what you see. And by the way, their account's still going as we speak. Just rattling off one by one by one. Which takes me to the September 1st edition of Raw, where they ran segments all night long from Nikki Bella, revealing dark and deep secrets from the Bella past. Things that Brie had done to her sister. Things that no one knew. I never told anybody until now. It's laughable. It's laughable. Did anyone buy that? Did anyone buy that? To me, it seems that all the work they did on the 25th of August was undone. Thanks to their work on social media. And thanks to the ridiculous spots we saw on the September 1st edition of Raw. It's nonsense. It's silly. I'm out. Okay? I'm still going to watch. It's what I do. I'm an analyst. It's what I do. But emotionally, I'm not invested in this. I could care less. And that's their fault, not mine. Okay? I take no responsibility for that whatsoever. They've lost me. Can't help it, folks. That's just the truth. And as if this could not be any better, who's going to be on the September 8th edition of Raw? If you've not heard, brace yourselves. Jerry Springer is going to run an intervention. An intervention between Nikki and Brie Bella. Jeez, folks, where do I start with this one? Jerry Springer. Well, we've just about given up on this, haven't we? We've admitted that it's ridiculous, that it's all nonsense. Let's just all wear t-shirts saying, hey, this stuff's been written down before. We're reading lines. Forget the sarcasm, folks. I hope you're picking up on it because I'm laying on pretty thick. Here's the thing. I'm old school. All right? I am. In my approach, in my way of watching wrestling, in my way of talking about wrestling, discussing it, viewing it, writing about it. I'm old school in a lot of ways. Okay? That's who I am. I want kayfabe. I do. I want that fictional reality. I want you to continue to force me to question if what I'm seeing is actually real or not. It's all right if I know. It's okay if I figure it out. But don't let me figure it out because you dropped the ball. That company as a whole drops the ball all the time. Great example of this. And maybe not so much as kayfabe, but just as reality and credibility of the superstar in question. Bray Wyatt recently defeated Chris Jericho at SummerSlam. Second of their matches that they've had. And Bray overcame Chris. Got the pin. It's a good match. Better than their other one. Okay? Gets the pin. Looks good doing it. All right? However, on Raw, John Cena destroys Bray Wyatt. Destroys him. Squashes Bray as Brock squashed Cena at SummerSlam. Bray became the sacrificial lamb, as it were, for John Cena. Okay, so we are to believe that Bray Wyatt defeated Chris Jericho, 6-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. All right? Defeated Chris Jericho. Was good enough to do that. And also did pin Cena. All right? Has a win over Cena. Okay? But now he can't lace Cena's boots or his athletic shoes. Do they still call them tennis shoes, by the way? It's a great question. But now we're supposed to believe that Bray's destroyed that easily. I'll be honest with you, that's more of a complaint than anything else. Maybe that's another topic for another time, but those kind of things bother me. All right? You want me to believe in the guy that you're putting in front of me. Awesome. I'll bite. I'll believe. Okay? Show me what you got. Show me what he's got. Book it. Make it happen. Make it look good. And I'll believe. I'll believe all day long. And I'll support it all day long. But the moment you discredit him, The moment you make him look bad, guess what? Don't believe it anymore. I don't believe in the Bellas anymore. Okay? None of it. And here's the funny part, is that from day one, I understand it's a storyline. Most of us with half brain in our head understand that it's all storyline. We get that, folks. These are characters. These are not the real people. The women you're seeing on TV, yes, they're twin sisters and all that stuff, but this is not who they are, okay? This is an exaggeration of who they are for the sake of entertaining you. Again, we all know this, all right? But don't advertise it. Don't admit it to me. Don't let me see it. If I go to see a magician, I could throw some great magician names out at you, but I'm a little outdated. David Copperfield. See, I don't ever actually go see David Copperfield anymore. I saw him recently. Not in person. On TV, mind you. And dude's had some work done. I'm just saying. There's no magic involved there. There's some money involved and, some stretching of skin happening. Because, we got to look the part. But who wants to go see a magician and be able to peek around the corner of the curtain and say, oh, dude, I see how it's happening. I see the trick. I see the trick. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. Do you read the last page of the book? When you buy the book first, do you read the last page? Of course not. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to be in suspense. I want you to make me believe in what you're trying to sell me. And again, the Bella storyline completely lost me. There's no kayfabe left. All right? Especially in the storyline. It's gone. Okay? We all know what's been happening. And switch gears just a little bit. We mentioned Stephanie McMahon earlier. The Authority. Top heels in the company. Triple H. Not even a part-time wrestler at this point. Wrestles occasionally. Stephanie McMahon wrestled once in, what did they say it was, 6 years? Is that what they said? Former women's champion. Yeah, for anyone to consider Stephanie McMahon a wrestler on any level at any point, that's laughable in and of itself. But I digress. The Authority, top heels in the company, correct? We can all agree on that. Okay? They do an excellent job. Stephanie McMahon cannot stop smiling. Triple H cannot stop being a jerk. And they're the perfect mix of, holy crap, I hate these two, but I can't stop watching. That's what they're the perfect mix of. And it works. It works, man. They're over. They got the heel pop. They do everything right on TV, man. On pay-per-view, it's not a problem at all, okay? However, Twitter rears its ugly little birdie head once again because you go on Twitter, they're professional. They're funny. They're entertaining. They're very polite to the fans. Triple H hosts a Q&A session on Twitter where he thanks folks for asking questions. I can't stop smiling. It's good stuff. On WWE.com, it's much the same way. When WWE was affiliated with the Special Olympics, a fantastic cause, by the way, fantastic cause. Say that for sure. However, having said that, I don't need to see the two top heels out there hugging and smiling and holding hands and raising arms in victory. I don't need that. I need the top baby faces doing that. You want to know why? Because 2 days later on Raw, you expect me to believe that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are bad people. Guess what? I want to believe that. I need to believe that as a fan. You want me to buy into the validity of what you're trying to sell me? Then prove it to me. Make me feel it. You're not proving anything to me, man. I got nothing. You leave me high and dry. I don't need that stuff. I want to believe. I want you to stick to your guns. You want to convince me that Triple H is the biggest piece of crap I ever laid eyes on? Fine, I'll bite. Make me believe it. Don't just make me believe it for 3 hours on Raw and then forget about it the next 6 days till the next Raw. Don't do that to me. I want to bite and I want to believe it all week long. Okay? I need to. As a side note, that's one of the problems with having corporate heels in the company. Corporate heels with no corporate baby face on any level whatsoever. Vince McMahon, if and when he decides to come back, is going to be heel, more than likely. There's no babyface GMs left. There's no one. Okay? It's just Hunter and Steph, and that's it. It's our company anyway. Why not? Right? But there's no one left. I've tuned out. Again, they act heel on TV. They're very professional online. Twitter, WWE.com, the Special Olympics connection, all that. Stephanie McMahon. Remember on Raw, Vicky Guerrero, where Vicky pushed her into a swimming pool full of what we were led to believe was, well, excrement. I'm keeping it PG, folks. I'm PG over here. Get over it. What happened the next week? Was she furious? When they showed the replay, was she beside herself? Did she come storming out to the ring, stomping around saying, I'm tired of being disrespected. I'm tired of you people laughing at me. This is my show. This is my daddy's show. Really? No. What happened? What happened? Came out smiling again. Like nothing ever happened. Okay? Again, you want me to believe that an employee that you fired got the best of you, made you look like a fool, humiliated you on live television. The next week you didn't feel a thing. Really? That's what you're giving me? Maybe, again, that's more of a complaint than part of the kayfabe situation. I don't know. It's whatever your opinion is. But at the same time, I got a real problem with it. I got a big problem. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I just can't stand it. Again, I want realism. You're going to convince me of something. Make me believe. Make me bite. Hook me in, man. And I'll bite and I'll watch. Okay? Don't ruin it for me. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. The reality era, what Triple H has referred to this whole thing that we're living in right now, 2014. We're in the Matrix, folks. No, this is really happening. We've been asleep since the Attitude Era ended. Ruthless aggression is all just part of the dream of the Matrix. We're all plugged in. The sockets in the back of our heads. You need more cliches here, any more movie references? I got a bunch of them. But it's the reality era. And I get what they're going for. I do. I know where they're coming from. Let's be honest, it's the appropriate thing to call it. What else are you going to call it? What else are you going to call it? You got nothing else. The Cena era. Cena has been going on 10 plus years. Cena era won't end until he retires. Bottom line, it'll always be his company. Okay, in some form or fashion. Like it's always going to be Hogan's company. Hogan's always going to be directly affiliated and associated with WWE. Cena will too. Bottom line. Like no other two performers in the history of that company. These two guys for sure. All right? So I get what they're going for, the reality era. I don't mind to call it that. But, however, it's not reality in terms of what you perceive to be reality. They're looking at more like a reality TV show where there's real people, but the drama that they're wrapped up in sometimes is just over the top and outlandish. So when you see them outside of that drama, outside of that moment, outside of that atmosphere, they're regular people. Do you want that from your pro wrestlers? Stop and think about it. Do you want to see that? I mean, do you want to keep reading interviews with Cody Rhodes? I don't. He's Stardust now. Let it go. Let him be Stardust. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you want to go keep reading interviews with Wade Barrett where he's very polite and cordial? Talks about how much fun he's having. Really? You're heel, Wade. And it's... Is there something wrong with the guy giving an interview? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If WWE signs off on it, it's fine. I was part of a Blog Talk Radio program and managed to get Brodus Clay to appear on the show. And Brodus tells me off the bat, he says, look, I could probably do this, but I have to get WWE corporate to sign off on it. They have to sign off on any interviews I do. Okay. So, of course, the whole interview was conducted out of with a lot of respect to WWE. You know, we were honest questions, of course, but it was nothing like, listen, WWE sucks, and don't you think so? It's nothing like that. So, of course, he had to get word from them before he could talk to anybody. I get that. And did he talk out of character? Of course he did. All right? Nothing wrong with that. Fans like to be on the inside. That's part and parcel of being a fan of the business. You like to think you're behind the scenes. You like to think that you know what's going on. You want to feel connected to the product. I get that. I totally get that. All right? At the same time, does it bother you? Does it hurt the product in the long run? The next time you see that guy or gal on TV, has it killed it for you? It's just a question. How you feeling about it? Because for me, I don't know how I feel about it. A lot of times it ruins it for me. Not going to lie. So again, I know where they're going with it. I know what the insinuation is. Who's the biggest star of the reality era? Had to be Daniel Bryan. Can't really say Cena. You can if you want to, but for me it's Bryan. Why? I would say that the two biggest stars, plural, would be Bryan and CM Punk. Because it's the reality era. Because realistically speaking, these are the two guys the fans wanted. Okay? They weren't muscled up, bleach blonde, guys posing in the middle of the ring, prayers, vitamins, training, all that stuff. They weren't muscled up guys, ball hat, athletic shoes or tennis shoes as it were, khaki shorts, wristbands, armbands, headbands, leg bands, ankle bands, whatever, ring bands, whatever he's wearing. No. Fans wanted Punk. Fans wanted Bryan. They got it. Okay. For me, the beginning of this reality era began in 2011 when CM Punk dropped his first pipe bomb. And at the time, he did what a lot of us felt was breaking kayfabe. He was, as he said, breaking the fourth wall, one of the most infamous promos in the history of that company. Why? Because Punk said a lot of things that have not been said on WWE television since Joey Styles did it when he quit, supposedly quit. Again, breaking the fourth wall, going there, talking about the way the McMahons ruled the company with an iron fist, about how they mistreated workers. They didn't give guys a chance to excel. Mentioned Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's a great example of what we're talking about here. Okay? Guys that fans feel aren't being given a break. And then they're allowed an opportunity. What happens to them after that? It's your best guess. I think Zack got on TV this week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember who he got crushed by. I think it was Rusev. So he got on TV. It's something, right? But the reality era all began with CM Punk 2011 with the pipe bomb. When you really, no matter what kind of fan you are, 10 minutes, 10 years doesn't make a difference. I guarantee you that all of you at some point during the midst of that promo, during the heat of it, during the very thick of it, looked at each other and said, dude, is this really happening? I guarantee you, I did. Why? Why? Because WWE has you hook, line, and sinker? Maybe. And if so, that's cool. It's cool to buy in. Nothing wrong with that. That's how the company makes their money. It's good to be a fan. It's fun to be a fan. No disrespect intended. But for a lot of us, it was because of Punk. Because Punk's so good. He's so convincing, man. He can make you believe anything. He's so good. So entertaining. He made you believe that everything he was saying was completely off the cuff. They didn't want him saying it. They really did cut his mic because he went too far. All right? It's funny now. At the time, it was, dude, is this really happening? So Punk, the real beginning of the reality era, 2011. It's been going on ever since. 3 years running now. What's going to be the next thing to happen? For me, I call it the death of kayfabe because that's what the reality era is. We want to call it the reality era. We all are winking and nodding, going, right, sure, whatever you say. So, we mentioned him earlier without really saying his name. Let's talk about Mr. Kayfabe himself, John Cena. Oh, I know what you're thinking, Tom, with the bashing. Really? Already? What are we, not even 30 minutes in, you're going to do this? Yes. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not going to bash. I'm not a basher. All right? I'm not a fighter. Not at all. I love peace. I'm a peaceful man. Here's the thing about John. John is slammed 6 ways from Sunday because he supposedly can't work. And I get a lot of that. I understand where the criticism is coming from, and I understand it. But let me tell you why I think that he's consistently slammed for his work in the ring. Because he doesn't sell. John doesn't sell. Sorry. Had someone dispute me online about that one time. And out of respect to that person, I said, look, I disagree. He doesn't sell. During the course of a match, he's not selling. John takes the heat in a match for 7 straight minutes or so, give or take. He's beat down. Beat down. We're talking about putting the boots to him, man. But into submission. Nothing left, man. Nothing left. Dust. What happens? Pops up. Shoulder tackle. Shoulder tackle. Maybe a third one just for good measure. Spinning backdrop. Fiery fist of pain. Bam. Death Valley driver. Bam. Over. Done. He's smiling. He's happy. He's John. All right? Let's forget the fact he just took 3 power bombs. Went through a table. Got hit with a trash can. Set on fire. Has arm cut off. None of that stuff really happened, but here's the point. John takes a lot of punishment. John gets back up. Every time. Well, except SummerSlam. He stayed down. He's probably still down. Brock beat the stuffing out of him. So, 99.9% of the time, however, the other 364 days of the calendar year, John Cena pops right back up, hits his moves, smiles, nothing ever happens. Dude's been in Elimination Chamber matches on Sunday. Monday Night Raw, bam. He's fine. Not a problem, man. Not even limping. Why? Because he's John Cena. He can take anything. Mr. Resiliency. Doesn't that get under your skin? Okay? Love him or hate him. Don't care where you stand. For someone to tell me that a grown man doesn't feel pain, I don't care how, he's in great shape. Fine, he's a god. Look at him. Oh, he is. Look at him. He's chiseled, man. I get it. I got all that stuff. He's got cardio, right? His conditioning's off the charts. Fine, whatever you want to call it. But he doesn't feel pain. He doesn't feel 7 minutes worth of a straight beat down. He doesn't feel that. Jeff Hardy was limping for 3 days after ladder matches when he came down the ramp, holding his back, favoring his leg. Why? Because he wanted to make it look good. Does that mean he wasn't legitimately hurt? He probably was. He probably was legit banged up. But either way, it made it look good. He reminded you before you ever saw the replay. Oh yeah, Jeff was in that match. I remember now. He just got the crap kicked out of him. He did. Where did we get that from John? You want me to believe. I want to believe in what I'm seeing. Every time John pops up after 7 minutes beat down, I don't believe anymore. Is he the biggest culprit? Is he the one with the knife in his hand? Who has the knife in their hand? Who killed Kayfabe, WWE? I got one name for you, and only one name. And that name dropped the bombshell. The pipe bomb to end all pipe bombs. December 15th, 1997, Vincent Kennedy McMahon makes the announcement that, oh yeah, by the way, everything you're watching, not happening. This ain't pro wrestling, man. This is sports entertainment. I was watching Raw that night, and I saw that. I was in a room full of guys, and I remember looking to one of my friends and saying, dude, is this really happening? Crazy. We didn't think we'd ever see it. I've been a fan since I was 5 years old. I'm now years old. I've been a fan for a long time. A long time, man. Watched wrestling before I could even walk. I'll be watching wrestling long after I can't walk. It's a passion of mine. All right? I don't recall a moment since then or before then where I sat there and just felt like I was coming out of my skin. Because as a fan who defended the business against people outside the business who wanted to criticize it and call it fake, call it phony, you felt the need to put your dukes up and go out, come out swinging to defend the sport that you loved. And you called it a sport. I did. I still do. Defend it to the end, up to the gates of hell, defending the business, the sport that you love. And now, one of the biggest promoters in the history of that sport, probably the biggest ever. Okay, he's the biggest ever. Goes on national television and says, oh, guess what? Phony. We're not really trying to hurt each other. You people are so stupid. It's good stuff, right? It was crazy. I just had that moment of, oh my God, is this really happening? Because here's the kicker. We knew it. Everyone knew. But we never had anyone from that side telling us. And now here's the largest promoter of all time saying, we're just putting on a show. Are you having fun? Because we are. It's just for fun. Oh, it was a crazy day. Go back and watch it. It still gives me chills. And maybe not in a good way. Can I be straight with you about something? I'm back and forth on this, and I have been for a long time. It sounds like I hate it, right? I do hate it in a lot of respects. But I am man enough to admit that even though I hate it, I understand. I really do. I understand and I get it. Why? Because the business of professional wrestling could not have survived the way it was going. It's impossible. Fans were getting too smart. Fans knew that something was up. Fans let the cat out of the bag. And guess what? Had to be done. No one's happy about it. No one was happy about it then. A lot of us aren't happy about it now. You can't change it, right? Had to be done. Why? Because for fans to continue to buy into what they're seeing, they can no longer believe that it's legit athletic competition. The entire premise, the entire business of professional wrestling, whether it's WWE in front of a crowd of 25,000 people, down to the National Guard Armory down the street with 10 fans, and that's it. And 5 of those fans are family of the wrestlers. To every level in between. The entire business of professional wrestling is based on the single premise that 2 guys have a problem and they want to settle their problem by having a match in the ring in which each man is trying to legitimately win the match. That's the lie. That's the inherent lie of professional wrestling. That's the premise. Everything that comes from the business, that happens around that premise, that happens around that lie, that stems from it, that's built upon it, that's added to it, additions, background noise, ancillary characters, everything in between, storylines that branch off from it, situations, stables, angles, you name it. Whatever it is, it all gets boiled down to that initial lie. The entire business of professional wrestling is predicated upon a lie. We get that. We know that. We've known it for years, okay? We've all known it. If you want a fan in the modern day and age to continue or to even give your product a chance, you can't come out straight face and say, these two guys really do hate each other. What you're seeing is real. See how that guy just knew exactly how to fall on his back? Well, he's been trained to fall because he wants to protect himself. And, when he gets hit, he knows how. Come on. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. No one would buy that now. 60s was different. The 70s were different. The 80s were different. Even the 90s, part of the 90s, you're getting some territory there, right? But for the most part, people are too smart. People figured it out. And people outside the business that were not fans knew it already. Those of us inside who watched, who were fans of the sport, who loved it, who never missed a show ever, we knew it too. We just wouldn't tell anybody. We didn't want to tell anybody. Why? Because we're defending it. You knew it, right? We all knew. It's just not something we talked about. Because it gave those people outside the business a chance to laugh and point and say, ha ha ha, see, you're wasting your life. I'm not wasting my life. Screw that. It's hilarious to me, The whole thing, that it had to come to that. Did it have to come to that? I submit that it probably did. It was a necessary evil of the business, especially for that company, and it had to happen. Okay? Vince McMahon comes on the air, admits, guess what? Everything you're seeing is crap. No one's trying to win anything, man. We're just trying to make you entertained, make you feel good. Have some popcorn, get an autograph. Had to be done. Because if the business of professional wrestling probably wouldn't exist today in the form that you see now. Okay? It would not be like this, in my opinion. It would be something else. All right? You can't expect fans of this day and age to believe professional wrestling is real on any level. The people are real. A lot of the heat that happens is real. A lot of that stuff, absolutely. You can't expect people to believe it's true athletic competition, not in this day and age. Vince McMahon knew that. Vince McMahon took the focus from true athletic competition and placed it on the entertainment value of the guys involved. Because that shifts the discussion. It changes it from, well, is that fake, man, or is that not fake? Changes it completely. No one cares now. The only thing that matters is, dude, did you see that 450? Did you see that 450 on the top or bottom of the floor? Did you see, did you see the match last night? Oh, dude, it was awesome. It was epic. Now everything's changed. And it's been changed since 1997, thanks to Vince McMahon's announcement. Guess what you're seeing? It's just not real, man. Don't think it is. Let's just have some fun. Okay? Vince let the cat out of the bag, and yes, it had to be done. So if there's any man with blood in his hands, it's Vince McMahon. You'd be pretty sure he's okay with that. Seeing as how he's made a ton of money since then. He's lost a ton of money too, to be honest. But he's made a lot of money as well. So it had to be done. People had to be told. Was that the day that Kayfabe died? Was that really it? Because up until that time, you didn't say anything. You didn't admit anything. If you're a pro wrestler, you didn't tell your wife who was going to win that night. Didn't tell your girlfriend. Didn't tell your families. Didn't say a word. Okay? You knew better. All right? In the old days, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you did that kind of stuff, you might get your leg broke. You wouldn't be winning that match that night. You might not even be wrestling at all. Okay? Kayfabe is very important. You leave that stuff to yourself. You're told the story. Here's what's going to happen in the match tonight. Now keep your mouth shut. That's it. Play along. You're part of the boys. Play along. Keep your mouth shut. If you're a heel in front of the crowd, you better be heel on the way to your car. You better be a heel if you walk by the concession stand. You better be a heel on the phone. If somebody stops you for an autograph in the middle of a city street, you better be a heel. Okay? You're heel. Play your part. Kayfabe. You get what I'm saying here, folks? This all started from the Divas. I've been beating up on two pretty girls for 40 minutes now. What kind of man am I? It's terrible. Get me locked up here. A lot of this just infuriates me, folks. I can't lie. It's crazy. Again, I want to believe. Don't do all the work you do as a company to get me to believe, and then just sort of throw it all away. Throw it all away as if it never happened. Folks, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the fictional reality of professional wrestling, more specifically WWE. You want me to believe what I'm seeing is real, then you do everything in your power to tear it down like it never happened. Okay? A lot of times that company will take something from reality that's really happening and shove it up in their storylines and, muddle the background of it even worse. Matt Hardy's situation with Lita is a great example. Lita having an affair with Edge. Matt Hardy's caught in a triangle. Comes back to the company. The fans want him back. Go back and watch those clips. It's epic. Matt was so over, man. So over at that time. It's good stuff. And, taking reality, throwing it into the storylines. I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. A lot of people had a problem with Randy Orton dissing Eddie Guerrero after he had passed. Not me. Eddie Guerrero was all business. If anyone would have been okay with it, it would have been Eddie. You see what I'm saying? Because it's all an effort to get the storyline over, to get yourself over, get the situation over, so people believe. You need people to believe what they're seeing. Do they really need to believe that Undertaker kidnapped Stephanie McMahon? Nah, silly. Don't be too silly with this. That's nonsense. Do they need to believe that a grown man is going to be dressed like a bull and he's upset that his tail got cut off? Dude, come on. Use your common sense. Use some common sense here, folks. No kidding. But that's what we're talking about here, people, is trying to maintain that reality. It's trying to keep it all. When you watch, you don't have those moments of, oh, man. You want to be sucked into it. Why was Brock Lesnar versus John Cena so good? Because it felt real. Because it felt like a car wreck. It felt like Brock was a semi that was mowing down a Volkswagen Beetle. Like crunched it and then backed up. Crunched it and backed up. Crunched it and backed up. Back and to the left. Right? Left him for dead. That felt real. Felt good. Why did it feel good? Because it was real. Because it was unexpected. No one saw it coming. Remember Mark Henry's run in 2011 when he defied the odds and beat Randy Orton, Night Champions, for the World Championship. Remember that? No one saw that coming. Go back, look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. It was awesome. There's one girl that turns to her friend. Like, what? And she had that look. It's epic. Oh, it's such good stuff. You know you've got them when you have that, by the way. You know the powers that be in that company. When they watch the monitors, they see that. Oh, we got them. You see that? We got them. It's good stuff. Because it's something different. It's a shock. It's a twist. It's a turn. It's something that gets the fans watching and go, oh, I didn't see that coming. Okay? Hard to get that reaction when you're so predictable. That's one of the things that companies have a hard time with right now with its fan base, is that they're so predictable. The same matches happen all the time. Cena wins all the time. He's always there. Yada, yada, yada. So, guess what? Let's just have Brock annihilate him. They did, and it looked great. Why? Again, because it looked good, number one. Number two, we didn't expect the way that match was going to go down. Okay? You want me to believe in Brock Lesnar. You know where I'm going with this? You want me to believe in Brock Lesnar. You want me to believe that he's an animal. He's a beast incarnate. He's a monster. He's the annihilator. He's the destroyer. He's the war machine. He's the anomaly. He's it. He's it. He's the LOD in one man. Okay? Okay. I'll buy it. But what are you going to do now to screw it all up? Think about it. You know what you're saying? They're not going to screw it up. It's Brock Lesnar. Tom? Are you stupid? No. I'm just posing a question. How long before this gets screwed up? How long before something happens to make you look at someone in the room with you and go, dude, is this really happening? How long before it goes down? How much faith do you have in WWE right now to maintain the storylines? How much faith do you have? How hard is it for you to watch as fans and buy in? And the very next day on social media, they've destroyed it. Doesn't that irritate you? Is it more, or is it more of a disconnect where you're like, you know what, it's Vince, is what he does, I don't even care anymore. Yeah, I'll watch, I'm a fan, I'll keep watching, but I don't even care anymore. Is that what it is? How many people actually stop watching professional wrestling specifically WWE, how many people actually stop watching because, you know what, I've had enough. Wash my hands of this and walk away. Is anyone really doing that? I'm sure they are, but if there are, I don't know of anyone that I've known, been around, grew up with, whatever, that love professional wrestling that still don't watch it. Okay, so I guess that's reality for a lot of people, but I would be curious to know who and what we're talking about. No one's going to stop watching. That's not the point of what we're saying here. That's not what we're trying to say, folks. And you know, I get that criticism a lot. Well, if you don't like what you're seeing, just stop watching. I just want it to make sense. I need it to make sense. Don't ask me to buy in when you ruin it the next day. It's crazy. It's crazy. The CM Punk thing. Backtracking just a little bit, the way he left. It's real. We assume it's real, right? We think it is. Seemed pretty real at the time. Combine that with fact, with fiction. Get him back in there. Make it happen. Sell it to him however you need to. Sell it to him like one last run. Guess what? For the next 6 months, you could call your own shots. Let's get you to Mania. Maybe the pay-per-view after. You can walk away. We'll be done. Adios. Goodbye. See ya. You see what I'm saying here? That company needs stars. They need top guys. They don't have anybody right now. Whose fault is that? It's their fault. It is. They've not properly groomed anyone to be able to take that spot yet. You want me to believe that Roman Reigns is the next top guy. Right? Okay, I'll bite. Now see how bad they screw it up. Is all this too negative for you? I don't mean it to be. This is just one guy asking a lot of questions. To wit, there's not a lot of answers to go around. But that doesn't stop me from hoping, folks. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop me from hoping at all. Not at all. So, again, this is real easy. Get your pencil and paper out. I'm taking. There's gonna be a quiz at the end of this class, the end of this show. I want to see how many of you are paying attention. Tell me what's the most important thing. What matters to you in professional wrestling as a solid? You don't have to be hardcore. You don't have to be a diehard fan. As a solid WWE fan, what's more important to you? Believability, the matches themselves, combination of both. Oogling the divas. Is that ogling or oogling? I have to consult my inappropriate adolescent dictionary and find out. I'll let you know. I'll get back to you. If that's your thing, is that why you watch? See what I'm saying? Why are you a fan? In the first place, why are you a fan? What are you wanting from the program? Okay? Because if the reality of it doesn't matter to you, you're just in there to watch two sweaty guys bounce around all day in the ring. Fine, have fun. Go with God, get into it. I don't care. That's your thing. I'm in it for the storylines. I'm in it just for the drama of the moment. For that massive heel turn that no one saw coming. For the night that so-and-so turned face and made the save. Never saw coming. I live for those moments. That's the best part about being a fan. Okay? Because they defy all previous understanding. Take you in a new direction. But to me, in my opinion, if all that's going to work and be successful, then kayfabe has to be maintained. It's not that hard, I assure you. I assure you. Okay? Live it. Something happens on Monday, don't forget it happened on Tuesday. Continue to live it. How does no one do that anymore? Please, someone answer that for me. How does that company not care about it? Why do they not care about it anymore? I'm going to be straight up with you right now. This is not going to be the only program that we have on this particular topic. Because this kind of thing I can discuss for days on end. And I can't. Man's got to sleep sometime. Need my rest, people. Got a lot of work to do. Here's the thing. It's an issue. It's an issue. And if you don't believe it's an issue, ask the diehard fan to the casual fan. What irritates you about what you're seeing? I'm going to guarantee you that a lot of the answers coming from folks right now is, I just don't believe it anymore. It's just not believable. Whose fault is that? It's their fault. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, just the two stars of the reality era, right? Why did it break kayfabe? Why did it really? You see what I'm saying? Because for years we were told you had to be a certain muscle mass, you had to be a certain height, certain build, you had to be able to bench press a car and be WWE champion. Punk proved them wrong. Daniel proved them wrong. Okay? That's an instance of reality with kayfabe working together Triple H dissing Bryan on live TV, sort of causing to question what Triple H's actual feelings on small guys as champions have been in the past, because he's had criticism before in his career when he was wrestling full time, man. That calls into question. Those are moments when kayfabe and reality mix, and they mix so well, and the company can make some money, and it seems so good, and we're into it. We love it. Oh, it's good stuff. It's good times. It's good times, man. It's good times. Then there's moments like with the Bella Twins that I don't care about anymore now. I'm so out of it. I'm so out of it. I'm so done. I don't care what they do to each other. I don't care. I hope they succeed. More power to both of them. Again, they're getting a shot. I don't disrespect or look down any worker getting TV time, trying to make the best of it. I hope it works. Don't laugh at that. I do. But emotionally, mentally, I'm out. You lost me. I don't even care about it now. You lost me. See what I'm saying? I got no reason to watch those two now. I'll watch, but I'm not into. I don't care. It's like watching a car wreck, except it's happening really slowly. You can't do anything about it. You can't look away. That's the bad part of it. How important is kayfabe to you? What's it mean to you? Is it important enough? Is it important enough to bother you when things like the Bella Twins happen? Does that bother you? A lot of open-ended questions, folks, and I'm a guy that can listen. I'm a good listener, and I'm curious of what everyone is going to say here. I know what my answer is. I want to believe. I'm Fox Mulder. I got the poster. I want to believe. Make me believe. Don't spend your time convincing me of something else, and then when you bring me back to that Monday night, want me to believe again. Doesn't work that way. I gotta believe all the time. All the time. Your shows lose credibility if I don't believe. Why? Because Tom's got influence? Tom's got no influence. But all you need are 20,000 people that watch or go to the event to have the same thought I have when I look at a friend and say, dude, is this really happening? Because when that's done enough, when there's enough moments of shaking your head, of going, oy, that's something silly that happens, eventually numbers will drop. People will grow tired of it. Doesn't mean they're going to stop watching professional wrestling. There's other companies out there. They give them a shot. It's fine. Okay? Could be a third of the production value of WWE, if that much. They don't care. They're wrestling fans. You get that? They just want to watch. They just want to watch. They just want to enjoy. They just want to have fun. That's what it's all about, people. That's what it's all about. I've been told I don't have enough fun, that I'm too analytical. I say thee nay. I just want it to make sense. You ever go see an action movie and they hook you from the first 2 minutes of the film? Halfway through the movie, they lose the plot, and at the end, you don't even care what happens anymore. It's kind of the same concept. Make me believe. That's your job, is to make me believe. You've already got me. I'm watching. Now show off. Show me what you can do. Okay? Give me Daniel Bryan versus The Authority and make it a big payoff like at WrestleMania. That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay? Make it good. Make him live the part, which I felt like he did pretty well. Make these guys live the part. Make me believe. That's what I want more than anything else as a fan. I want to believe in what I'm seeing. Okay? And when you put nonsense in front of me like the Bella Twins, who are arguing, actually it's more of a spat than anything else, and Nikki's upset her boyfriend got stolen. Really? I'm supposed to believe that? Jerry Springer's going to stand in the middle of these two and I'm supposed to believe what I'm seeing? Nah, sorry, checked out. These are the kind of things that irritate me, folks, the kind of things that kill it for me. Again, I'm old school. I'm used to the days of Ricky Steamboat, had his face rubbed in cement. Guess what? They took him upstairs, took sandpaper to his face, for real. Why? Because he had to live the part, had to look the part, had to make it work, had to make it look good. Because Ricky knew he was going to be out and about, getting gas, buying eggs, doing something outside the world of the NWA at that time. He had to look the part. It was important. See what I'm saying? Very important. J.J. Dillon, the night that Nikita Koloff turned face and Dusty came down with the cast on J.J. The very next day, J.J. Dillon had a facelift and it blacked his eyes. He had bruises on his face. Well, they decided to use those bruises and say it was the cast that did it. because it kept up the reality. They wanted you to believe that J.J. Dillon was busted up. Okay? That's what we're talking about, folks. I want to believe. I need to believe. And quite frankly, a lot of stuff that's coming from WWE right now, I don't believe anymore. I believe in Bray Wyatt. I believe in Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins to an extent, Roman Reigns to an extent. I still believe in Daniel Bryan. Okay? I believe that there's a possibility there to make some serious money. The possibility is there to have some serious characters that are maybe not predictable, but that can work. And that will get over to the moon. That's what I believe. But you have to maintain the reality, the fictional reality of kayfabe, or you've lost the crowd, you've lost the audience, you've lost everyone involved, and that can happen. If it happens too many times, game over. And I'm one guy. Imagine my opinion multiplied 20,000 times. Imagine the impact that would make on that company, its future, and the future of the business. Think about that, folks. Chew on it. What do you got for me? Got some feedback? Hit me up at tomclarkbr@yahoo.com. Follow me on Twitter at tomclarkbr. Listen to the program, folks. Support it. Get in there and make it happen. Check me out on bleacherreport.com, whatculture.com, JBL's Layfield Report. Let's not forget about John. And, of course, the Camel Clutch blog. Get out there and support the stuff, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, as always, for your support. That's going to wrap it up this week. You've listened to the main event. This has been episode 3. This is the death of kayfabe in WWE. Huge topic. An hour, not enough time. We're going to touch on this, maybe do a part 2 later at some point. We're going to revisit this topic perhaps quite a bit in the near future. But for right now, that's what I have for you, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks again for listening. Please subscribe. Check me out next time. I'll be around. Hopefully you will too. Thank you again for listening, folks. This has been Tom Clark's Main Event.